One final strategy for offering students multiple means of engagement is to provide them with ongoing opportunities for self-reflection. Reflection is a crucial part of the learning process since it allows students to pause and take stock of what they've already accomplished as well as what they still need to do. Equally as important, making time for reflection encourages students to set their own goals. As the term progresses, they can set plans for achieving these goals as well as chart their progress. The kinds of peer response activities I've described so far help students develop this ability to reflect, since peer response models the kind of critical distance students need in reviewing and assessing their work. Combining substantive peer response activities with opportunities for critical self-reflection thus supports students in tailoring their coursework to meet their own individual needs as learners.
After seeing my first essay and seeing how much I've actually changed and seeing the big difference, for my second essay it was really easy for me to keep my peers' advice in mind.
I found that to achieve the benefits of reflection, students need ample opportunities to slow down, step back from their work, and assess their progress, as well as time to practice these particular skills. Asking students to reflect many times throughout the term, particularly as they're working towards long or difficult goals or projects, as well as once they've completed these assignments, helps students to develop these reflective habits of mind. Reflection throughout the semester is thus recursive. Students consistently use writing to pinpoint what they've already achieved, and then they use this information to help them move forward. There are many ways to invite students to reflect on their work, their learning, and the goals for their education. From asking questions such as, what do you feel you accomplished in this draft and what do you still need to work on, to asking students to use rubrics to self-evaluate their performance. Reflection increases student motivation and engagement since it allows students to describe their own learning instead of having someone else, namely a teacher, describe their learning for them. Using reflection in this way also heightens student awareness about their learning, including the ways that they learn best. And it allows students and teachers to be on the same page in terms of student progress. In turn, this makes assessment easier for the teacher and more meaningful for the student. And it also puts students in the driver's seat in terms of motivating themselves to achieve their own learning objectives, in addition to the objectives of the class. Opportunities for reflective writing are thus important not only to increase student engagement and responsibility for learning, but also to help students cement the lessons they take from peer response and from the class as a whole. For example, I'll often ask students to synthesize comments from 2 or more of their peers alongside their own goals for a particular writing assignment. This helps students both articulate their own goals for their work, as well as to respond sensitively to the needs of their readers. Using peer response and self-reflection together thus allows students to deepen their thinking, write more effectively, and maintain their interest in and commitment to the work of the class by honoring their own interests and realizing the progress that they're making. Of course, reflection is particularly valuable at the end of the term, where students can clearly chart where they started and where they ended up. This not only makes what they've learned concrete and visible for students, which is meaningful in and of itself, it also allows them to present a summary of their learning experience to me as a teacher. In short, combining reflection with peer response strategies builds students' metacognitive abilities, allowing them to continuously reflect on their thinking and their learning. This is a very tangible way of putting students at the center of their own education. Students are challenged to develop their own interests and skills in concert with the meaningful engagement of course material. Finally then, combining substantive peer response in a variety of configurations with ongoing self-reflection helps students to become better readers, revisers, and editors of their own writing, skills which they can then continue to develop as they progress through the university, writing in different settings for different purposes.